Sam was alone at home on a stormy night, nestled comfortably on the sofa when a creaking noise broke the silence. His heart pounded as he realized it was coming from the attic, a place he rarely ventured. Gathering all his courage, he grabbed a flashlight and slowly ascended the stairs. Each step felt heavier as the noise grew louder. Reaching the attic door, he hesitated before pushing it open. The beam of his flashlight cut through the darkness, revealing an old, dusty space. Suddenly, a shadow darted across the room. Sam's breath caught in his throat. Against all his instincts, he moved forward, only to find an old family portrait lying on the floor, its frame cracked. He turned to leave, but stopped as the creaking began again, right behind him. Chloe and Dylan, antique enthusiasts, stumbled upon a peculiar mirror at an antiques fair. Enthralled by its uniqueness, they decided to take it home, unaware of the dark secret it held. Soon after, Chloe noticed something strange about the reflection. It seemed to act on its own, independent of her movements. One unsettling evening, Chloe's reflection began to smile sinisterly while she remained serious. The eerie scene escalated when Dylan entered the hallway, and her reflection started laughing disturbingly. In a desperate attempt to stop the horror, Chloe tried to cover the mirror, only for her reflection to grab her hand. In a terrifying twist, both Chloe and Dylan were sucked into the mirror, disappearing without a trace. Now, the mirror reflects only an empty hallway, except for the whispers echoing within it. Be careful what you see in the mirror. And you, would you dare look? As the clock struck midnight, Sarah awoke to a chilling draft sweeping through her room. Goosebumps prickled her skin as she sensed an unwelcome presence. Ignoring her fear, she closed her eyes, hoping it would vanish. Suddenly, a weight pressed down on her empty bed beside her. Heart pounding, she dared not open her eyes. Whispers filled the air, cold breath caressing her ear. In a moment of dread, she felt a hand graze her arm. With trembling fingers, she switched on the bedside lamp. The room was empty, yet the indents on her bed revealed evidence of an unseen visitor's unsettling visitation. In the old abandoned mansion at the edge of town, Sarah heard whispers, soft, raspy voices that seemed to come from nowhere. Ignoring them at first, she delved deeper into the decaying halls, dust dancing in the moonlight. As the whispers grew louder, a cold dread crept over her. Shadows flickered unnaturally, twisting into grotesque forms. Panic gripped her as she realized she was not alone. Eyes gleamed in the darkness, sinister and hungry. The whispers turned into menacing laughter. Running, Sarah felt icy fingers brush her back. Slamming the front door shut, she thought she was safe. Then she heard it, a chilling voice behind her. "Welcome home, Sarah." But she lived alone. Ethan and Clara were avid art collectors with a penchant for the macabre. Their latest acquisition, a mysterious painting from a forgotten artist, came with a chilling legend. They carefully unwrapped the painting, revealing a shadowy figure standing in a dark forest. The atmosphere in the room seemed to change as the painting was unveiled. Legend had it that the painting was cursed. Those who owned it reported strange occurrences and an eerie feeling of being watched. Ignoring the warnings, they hung the painting above their fireplace, admiring its dark beauty. But as night fell, unease settled over them. Ethan woke in the middle of the night to faint whispers and shadows moving in the hallway. He got up to investigate, his heart pounding. He found Clara standing in front of the painting, her eyes wide with fear. She pointed to the canvas, where the shadowy figure seemed to have moved. Desperate, Ethan tried to destroy the painting. But as he did, the shadowy figure stepped out of the canvas, its eyes glowing with malevolence. The next day, the study was empty. The painting now depicted Ethan and Clara trapped within, their faces frozen in horror. The curse had claimed new victims. Locked doors and secret passages prevented their escape, increasing their despair. In a secret room, he found ancient portraits that watched him, as if they were alive. Upon picking up an ancient amulet, the mansion began to shake violently. Ghostly figures emerged from the cracks, their trapped souls seeking release. With the amulet in hand, Lucas ran outside as the mansion collapsed behind him. Mrs. Roma Lister, a leader in the British colony at Rome, shared a chilling story told to her by Prince Henry of Prussia, who was staying at the Swedish court after Queen Josephine's death. The queen's body lay in state in a chapel connected by a long corridor to an antechamber, where one of the king's aides sat. He heard footsteps and saw a woman in black, identified as a close friend of the queen, enter the chapel. When she didn't return, the aide grew anxious and opened the door. To his horror, he saw the dead queen conversing with her friend. Startled, he fled, but returned to find the room empty. The king later revealed the friend's ghost had visited, coinciding with her death announcement. A few years ago, my aunt rented a house in a small town. Suspiciously low rent didn't deter her. Marjorie and I arrived to receive furniture and decided to spend the night. Around midnight, unable to sleep, we heard the town clock strike 2. Suddenly, a woman in a dark dress entered our room, searching as if for something. Recognizing her as Mrs. Clark, I called out, but her terrifying look confirmed she wasn't human. She moved like she was flying, and at the stairs, she vanished. The neighbor revealed Mrs. Clark had hung herself in that room. We moved out immediately. Now the moonlight always reminds us of that night. Emma and James arrived at Cedar Hill, drawn by its mysterious abandoned church. Perched ominously atop the hill, it stood as a testament to the town's forgotten past. Inside, the air was thick with untold secrets. Emma discovered an old prayer book while James investigated the pulpit. An inexplicable presence seemed to fill the space. Reading a Latin inscription from the book, Emma unknowingly unleashed a dark power. The church lights flickered. Shadows danced unnaturally on the walls. A ghostly figure appeared at the altar, its ancient garb and vacant eyes staring intensely. "You have awakened restless spirits," it declared. The ground trembled as shadows enveloped Emma and James. James's attempt to save Emma was thwarted by an invisible force dragging her into the darkness. Alone in the silent church, James saw Emma's face in a broken stained glass window, her smile now sinister. Cedar Hill's past had claimed another soul. Would you brave it? The Amityville house, infamous for its terrifying hauntings, has a chilling theory tied to its eerie history. Some believe the house was built on a sacred Native American burial ground. This theory stems from the land's history, where a Shinnecock burial site is rumored to have existed. The Shinnecock tribe, known for their deep spiritual beliefs, might have cursed the land to protect it from desecration. This purported curse is said to have unleashed restless spirits and dark energies, contributing to the spine-chilling events reported by the Lutz family in the 1970s. While some dismiss the burial ground theory as mere folklore, it remains a compelling piece of the Amityville mystery.